Well, hello. This is my short little answer to this little survey that only when provoked initiated. And, I can't really get into the specifics of my answers here in a very short video. It's you can only do 10 minutes worth. And I will be following up on that as I usually do. With most everything I talk about, but here are my answers to these questions in short, and even this might be a two-part or three-part video, since the questions are hot-button issues, and needless to say, not everyone will agree with me, and this will probably cost me some subscribers, actually, because I will be stating some opinions here which some people may not like, and but in the interest of communication, I would like to be honest about my opinions and just tell you what I think about certain issues. Now, the first question was the right to bear arms. Do I or does the respondent agree with the right to bear arms? It wasn't mentioned in constitutional terms, but yes, I do agree with the right to bear arms for individual citizens. I also am for certain safety measures, which involve probably not for everyone to have arms, even personal arms, depending on their background checks or whatever. I mean, certain psychopaths are probably shouldn't be having arms. So certain background checks and safety checks have to be kept in place, I think. And people shouldn't just selling arms. Shouldn't just be selling arms at gun shows and so on, without any kind of checks and balances. That said, these arms will be sold anyway. So yes, my answer to that question is yes, the individual citizen should have a right to bear arms. The second question, very contentious of course, involves abortion. And so, as most of you know already, I am definitely pro-choice. And I also believe that abortion should not be used as a form of birth control. In other words, people getting together in the bedroom, so to say, have to be smart about it, and if they are dumb about it and don't want to know anything about how things work, then of course perhaps abortion becomes the last choice. I usually think prevention is better than abortion, and but as a last resort, I'm in favor of it because I don't want more unwanted children in the world. And I realize that some people, very religious people, and it is a very difficult issue for them because they consider abortion as murder. But from what I've also seen, some of these very same people have no problem with the mass murder of living, already born people. And so I have a problem with that kind of hypocrisy. And I come from a scientific background, basically, also from an artistic background, I might say. And so I can see both sides of the issue, but I have no room for hypocrisy on that standpoint. So I'm very definitely pro-choice. If a woman has to have an abortion because she cannot raise the child on her own and nobody will help her in the future and so on, I believe it is the best choice, depending on the individual circumstances. And I have nobody is entitled to place any judgment on this kind of a decision. It is a completely personal choice, and I might say for any thinking person who has any morals, it should be a very difficult choice to begin with. Now, on to gay marriage. Basically, I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. You know, what gay people do in their own bedrooms and through their own personal choices in terms of relationships is none of my business whatsoever. The state has no business in it, and as long as nobody is hurting anyone, I see absolutely no problem with it whatsoever. And you know, if that's what people want to do, it's their choice. So don't hinder them in it. It's just basically a no-brainer, especially in Western society. If people don't want to be involved in that lifestyle, then don't get involved in it. And you know, I'm basically a straight person, and I don't have anything to say about it. It's none of my business, and it's a totally personal choice, and I have absolutely nothing against it. Well, the death penalty, that's a difficult subject as well, and a hot button issue, but I'll get to that later because it's already taking up like over the limit here, so it'll be part 2 of the video. Thanks.